It's TP in the place to be, man. Y'all go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And we finna go ahead and get into it, man. Let's go ahead and go. It says Adam responds to accusations of being a bad friend. I don't know if y'all know about Adam 22, man, but he is not necessarily the best homie to have around you. If y'all got Adam 22 phone number in y'all phone, y'all might want to go ahead and delete it. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? Because he might put you in the cross. He might go ahead and get you lined up. That's the type of person Adam is. He do it for a laugh. He do it for a click. He do it for a video. We seen it time after time. He done threw Poetic Flacco under the bus for making certain posts that I think that had been edited. He done threw T-Rail under the bus. He done threw Flacco back under the bus. Look, he'll throw anybody in the cross in the mix. He'll see if anybody do that matchup except him. So we finna go ahead and get into it, man. Without further ado, let's go.
And sort of like split the mic with Mikey, maybe.
Oh, he's got to put on socks. First.
Normally, I put my socks on before I come in the office.
I know.
Okay.
How your feet look, Flacco? Disgusting.
So I'm going to tell this tale from the beginning. So I'm at the AVN Awards, and I'm approached by a trans performer because she's friends with my friend Nicolette Shea, who I've interviewed previously, porn star, and she's got a little mob of trans performers around her, and we have a little exchange on camera, and it's kind of funny, whatever, and we reacted to it, or we talked about it on Sledge Lords, and there was an Instagram reel posted as a result, and the trans performer in particular, Gracie Jane, she came on in the comment section and started commenting, and she didn't take like full offense to it, but she wasn't 100% happy with, I guess, the way that we were joking around.
If you didn't get my other video, man, y'all definitely go tap into the video about house phone. Him trying to explain why he got exposed. It kind of made more sense to this video.
Or whatever, and she said, and so me and Danny right away were like, oh, this could be really good content. We should have her on the podcast, right? So,
How are you joking around?
joking around with her.
Yeah, like what was she upset about?
Well, she said that she wanted to S my D, and I was basically, I can't even remember what we said on Sledge Lords that she like took offense to or whatever. But it was just like, whatever. We're like, let's have her on the podcast. Now she dropped a comment on that Instagram thing that said, ask house phone about me. Ha 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 ha, or some shit like that. And you'll remember, Lush, that I sent it to the group chat, and it was just like, what the fuck is this? And so house phone just denied it right away. He's just like, what the hell? He acknowledged that he knew this person, but said, no, nothing like that. And I'm like, oh.
House phone, you got that cap in. Oh, my Lord. This is what happened. That's probably why they put his nose in the fire. See, Adam, he thirsty for the answer sometimes. He thirsty for it. And he might put his nose in it enough to where he put his nose in it. Adam Janky. That's probably why he went to go ahead and do that thing. He's trying to get some questions. Got his questions answered. And after that, that's why he house phone looking like, I can't believe you did that, Adam. Which I understand, because Adam, it's really not Adam's job to do that. But Adam, he the type.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he was like, we made a song together, but that's it.
Right. Or yeah, she was in the studio or whatever. And okay, so I take his word for it. Fine. And then we have them on the podcast. Me, Danny Mullen, and Danny Mullen doesn't really even know about this. Doesn't even know about that comment that she left on the reel, I don't think. And we're having the conversation. And it becomes obvious pretty quickly that she's intent on continuing to talk about this house phone thing on the podcast. Now, this was kind of weird for me, and I even let her know during the podcast, like, we're gonna have to edit this stuff out, right? Like this is just weird. Like I can't expose my fucking co-host on the podcast or whatever if he doesn't want this information out there. And you got to put yourself in the shoes of a trans person for a second and think about how they take that, because from their perspective, they are a woman, and nobody should be ashamed of spending time with them or whatever. And so she like pretty much immediately really takes offense to that and is really.
So Adam, you are a straight tweaker, my guy. Why then? If you already kind of knew how they feel, like how they operate, kind of, why the hell would you go on there? See, you dipped your foot too deep in that water and couldn't pull it out. You tripping? Realized something was on your leg and you couldn't shake it off. And then your homie came in, got to the water. Oh, he got ate up too. Man, you wrong, bro. You wrong.
Really not stoked on the fact that I told her that we were going to edit it out, right? So we have a whole little huddle afterwards because there were a few of the different like editors and employees in the room at the time. So this is already going to be like a badly kept secret, most likely, because a bunch of different No Jumper employees are in there. And so we talk about it afterwards, and me and House Phone talk about it. We get on the phone. And I do want to also clarify, because apparently it was said that people were laughing in the background of my conversation with him. 100% not true. I was in my office with the door closed. There might have been people making noise outside the office, because I do kind of remember this being like a loud, hectic day where there was a lot of stuff going on. But the idea that anybody was like laughing or making a joke about this or whatever is not the case. That's totally not true. Anyway, I talked to House Phone and I realized pretty quickly that he's really not feeling this coming out. And at this point, I'm kind of starting to sense like, oh, there must be some truth to this or whatever, because otherwise, why would he be so concerned about it?
I told y'all Adam was thirsty for that answer. See, he came trying to hawk down that answer. Dipping his foot dead off in that motherfucking water. Some bit him. The homie tried to come over and save him. The homie ended up being the one who ended up losing most of his body. Because Adam want to dip his foot in the water too much. He too curious, bro.
So pretty quickly, I talked to the editing team, and I have all the screenshots to prove this and everything, and I basically just tell them, like, yo, this is, this can't happen. I know it seemed kind of funny when we were talking about it and everything, but we got to edit it all out. And I feel like I made myself clear, too, that I didn't want to just, like, bleep the name, because there would be too many, like, identifying characteristics when I'm talking about how this is somebody that I've known for such a long time and yada yada. It would just be like, I didn't want to create this like guessing game of who we were talking about or anything like that. So I said, let's just chop out the whole part where he got discussed. And that, honestly, if it was like an hour and a half long podcast, that might have been like 10 different moments in the podcast. Mikey, can you confirm that there was like a...
Okay. Before we get to Mikey trying to confirm some random shit that don't even matter, why would you go in there and talk about it? You could never shake that off me, bro. See, House Phone, he too friendly, bro. He way too friendly. I ain't never been with no trans person, so I ain't gonna be able to say I did the same thing he did. But if that would have been my scenario, you'd have brought me up, brought my stuff up, went on their podcast and got to talking about it, and then got to talking about it so much to where you like, man, we gotta edit a lot of this out. We gotta go ahead and edit a lot of this out. And let's say y'all did edit it, but you missed some because y'all talked about it a lot. I'd be on your headpiece, bro. I'd be like, bro, why was you talking about me on there like that, bro? What is wrong with you? See, that's different, bro. Home Phone, he way too friendly. I mean, House Phone, he way too friendly, bro. Square business. Because I know if I'm putting in work on your podcast, first of all, you better be paying me some handsomely. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And on top of that, the fact that you going to put me on blast randomly? Oh, no. See, House Phone, you kind of already know where you stand with Adam. Like, that's a fact.
Because you were taking notes of each different time that he got mentioned during it, because you anticipated that we were going to edit this out, right?
There was a moment that happened about 10 minutes in where basically me, Adam, and the other person that's on the podcast like were looked at each other and kind of like gave a visual cue about like, let's make sure to know all these things. So I took note of every time that his name was mentioned. at some point, Adam changes the subject, and the subject is gone. Lush can attest to this.
I saw the whole unedited
Yeah.
clip.
So
You are really tapped in, my friend. You're getting all the extras.
So basically, there was proof that, one, Adam didn't know that this was going to happen, that whoever was going to say his name. Also, every time his name was taken out, like the name was said throughout the podcast, like at random times, whatever.
Adam did try to steer the convo away from it, like in his typical fashion, but the Gracie and Danny kept kind of.
Because from Danny's perspective too, like he doesn't even know that me and House Phone already had a conversation about this. He doesn't know how sensitive this is gonna be. Also, he's white. He doesn't understand the fact that this is probably gonna like be more of a thing for House Phone than it would be if fucking Danny banged Gracie Jane. Everybody would get over it in like 12 hours because nobody would be all that surprised, right?
He probably did.
Yeah. I'm not con-
And that's true, bro. You already know House Phone. You already know House Phone. If people hear about this, which they have, it's over with. It's over with. It's over. Like, what's the need? Like, I'm on your head. So for Adam, for you to know that, I don't even see why you went on there. Like you kind of like, you did like the bait and switch type. Like he set the bait like through the podcast. Like knew in the air. He brought it up to House Phone before. Probably talked people around it. Probably saw something on Reddit and then probably was like, hey, and the person was like, oh, I want to do a podcast with you. He was like, okay, cool. I got, I'm just trying to talk. Da, 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 da. Found out, got on there, probably sat trying to figure out what it was, like subliminally through the messages. Like they said, he did the Adam thing, trying to, change the subject. It wasn't probably just directly like, I don't even want to talk about it. He probably didn't say like, I don't want to talk about this. Let's just change. He probably like said it, but then he probably asked some more questions. You know how Adam is, bro. I do not picture Adam just trying to stare up the question, bro. Like, that's just what that is. I ain't spend time looking at the Gracie Jane interview because I ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't. No
He's a
sir,
comedian,
ski.
you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't understand those barriers. With his friends, all jokes go basically.
And he had no context leading up to this because he was hearing this for the first time, and to him, House Phone's just this fucking guy he knows, and he's not thinking that we're gonna edit it out until I start saying we're gonna edit this out. At which point she gets fucking super mad too. So in my head also, and I think I said this in one of the screenshots, but I'm like, knowing this can't be a simple situation because if we don't put the podcast out, she's gonna get so fucking mad that she came and did this podcast without it being released that I was like certain that she was gonna expose it because she had already exposed it on the fucking reel, even though like at that time nobody really noticed. I didn't see any Reddit posts about it. It wasn't really a thing.
I was there. Like, I sit in on Sledge Lord, so I can tell you, like, from the beginning, she came in with this kind of energy of like basically trying to stand up to Adam or show Adam up or something.
Yeah, which I understand your perspective where you're saying that a girl.
And you can't be putting weird trans memes on your fucking story right
It's not
now.
a trans meme.
But I saw it, and I'm just saying, with the current context, everybody's gonna think that you're poking the fucking bear.
I just saw Ewing Hardfood post that apparently what's it called?
Man, I ain't even worried about what all the talking about, bro. I ain't even talk about all that. All I know is, Adam, low key, what you knew in the background, bro, you should have not took the interview. That's what I feel. I feel like Adam did it to be messy. Everybody knows he messy. Like I said, they need a HR department, bro. They need to be able to solve some of their problems off screen. Somebody tell them like, no, this is what it is. This is what it's gonna be. You stay in your separate corner. You stay in your separate corner. You know what I'm saying? Or you suspended if you do this, that, and third. This way, you know what I'm saying? Put some rules in place. But since they ain't got that going on, bro, I feel like Adam just sitting around trying to create his own reality TV show in the background, with what they got going on. And they not realizing it or Or it just ain't nothing for real. But man, yeah, man, y'all go ahead and hit the like button, man. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. We finna go ahead and get into it, man. On my fault. I'm finna get out. It's deep in the place to be, man. Y'all stay out the way.